Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today we will journey through Message in a Bottle by Nicholas Sparks. Message in a Bottle by Nicholas Sparks, published in 1998, explores love, loss, and destiny. A captivating tale begins when a journalist discovers a heartfelt letter in a bottle washed ashore. This poignant romance captures the human longing for connection and the complexities of moving forward after heartbreak. Plot summary. On a summer morning along the beaches of Cape Cod, Teresa Osborne discovers a bottle washed ashore while jogging. Divorced, emotionally exhausted, and trying to balance a demanding career with raising her son Kevin, Teresa has long since stopped believing in the kind of passionate love she once imagined for herself. The bottle seems insignificant at first, but inside she finds a letter that immediately captures her attention. The letter is addressed to a woman named Catherine and signed simply, Garrett. It is not a request for help or a plea for rescue, but a deeply personal expression of love and grief. The writer speaks to Catherine as though she is still present in his life, sharing his loneliness and longing with heartbreaking sincerity. Teresa is profoundly moved. The emotions in the letter feel genuine and timeless, unlike anything she has encountered before. Unable to stop thinking about it, Teresa shows the letter to her friend and editor, Deanna. Soon, through a series of coincidences, 2 more letters written by the same man come to light. Each letter is addressed to Catherine, and each reveals a man struggling to survive the loss of the woman he loved more than anything else. Fascinated by the mystery and increasingly touched by the writer's devotion, Teresa becomes determined to find him. Her search eventually leads her to the coast of North Carolina, near Wilmington and Wrightsville Beach. There she discovers Garrett Blake, a boat builder and sailor whose life has been defined by the death of his wife, Catherine. Years earlier, Catherine died after a battle with illness, leaving Garrett emotionally shattered. Unable to release his grief, he developed the ritual of writing letters to her and setting them adrift in bottles on the sea, hoping somehow to maintain a connection with the woman he lost. When Teresa first meets Garrett, she says nothing about the letters. Instead, she introduces herself casually and allows their relationship to develop naturally. Garrett is handsome, thoughtful, and deeply connected to the sea. Though quiet and reserved, he possesses a warmth and sincerity that quickly draws Teresa toward him. For Garrett, Teresa's intelligence, independence, and compassion begin to awaken feelings he believed were gone forever. As they spend time together, their friendship gradually develops into romance. They sail together, walk along the beaches, and share intimate conversations about their lives. Garrett introduces Teresa to the coastal world he loves, while Teresa opens up about her divorce, her responsibilities as a mother, and her fears about trusting someone again. Despite their growing closeness, Catherine's memory remains a constant presence. Garrett speaks of his late wife often, and Teresa begins to realize that he has never truly recovered from her loss. Though she understands his grief, she sometimes feels as though she is competing with a memory that can never disappoint or change. The more she falls in love with Garrett, the more she fears that his heart still belongs to someone else. Meanwhile, Garrett finds himself increasingly torn between the past and the future. His feelings for Teresa are real, but embracing them feels like a betrayal of Catherine. He struggles with guilt whenever he imagines moving forward. The letters he continues to write reveal a man trapped between 2 worlds, one defined by memory and the other by possibility. Eventually, Teresa returns to Boston, but the relationship continues. Garrett visits her there and meets Kevin, who quickly develops a fondness for him. For the first time in years, Garrett begins to imagine a different future. Teresa allows herself to believe that happiness might still be possible. Their relationship appears to be moving toward a deeper commitment. Yet beneath the surface lies a secret that Teresa has never revealed. One evening, Garrett discovers the letters Teresa had found and realizes that their entire relationship began because she had read his most private thoughts. To Garrett, the letters were sacred conversations between himself and Catherine. Learning that Teresa sought him out because of them leaves him feeling exposed and betrayed. The confrontation is painful. Teresa tries to explain that her feelings for him are genuine and that the letters merely brought them together. Garrett, however, is overwhelmed by anger and confusion. He believes their relationship was built on deception. The argument ends badly, and Garrett leaves, taking the letters with him. Back in North Carolina, Garrett turns to his father, Jeb Blake, for guidance. Jeb listens carefully and offers a perspective Garrett has been unwilling to face. He points out that Garrett's grief has prevented him from embracing life and that Teresa loved him for who he truly was. Rather than deceiving him, she had taken a risk because she believed in him. At the same time, Teresa concludes that their relationship is finished. She cannot bear the thought of always standing in Catherine's shadow. Though she loves Garrett deeply, she decides to move forward with her life in Boston and focus on Kevin and her work. Separated from Teresa, Garrett begins to reflect on everything that has happened. Gradually, he recognizes that his father is right. He realizes that loving Teresa does not diminish his love for Catherine. More importantly, he understands that Catherine would never have wanted him to spend the rest of his life trapped by grief. This realization changes him. For the first time since Catherine's death, Garrett decides to let go of the past. He writes one final letter, this time not to Catherine, but to Teresa. In it, he expresses his love, asks for forgiveness, and tells her that he is willing to move to Boston and build a future together. It is the clearest sign that he has finally chosen life over mourning. Before sending the letter, Garrett embarks on a voyage aboard his beloved sailboat, the Happenstance. His intention is symbolic and deeply personal, to release one final message to Catherine into the sea, closing a chapter that has defined his life for years. But fate intervenes. During the voyage, Garrett encounters a powerful storm. He never returns. When news of his disappearance reaches shore, a search is launched, but there is no happy ending. Garrett is lost at sea, and the future he had finally chosen is taken from him before he can claim it. Soon afterward, Teresa receives a phone call from Jeb asking her to come to North Carolina. Devastated but needing answers, she travels there. Jeb shares Garrett's final message, the letter Garrett had written before his voyage. Reading it, Teresa discovers the truth she had longed to hear. Garrett loved her completely. He had finally accepted Catherine's death, forgiven Teresa, and committed himself to a future with her. Every hope she thought had been lost was contained within those words. Though heartbroken, Teresa also finds peace. Garrett's final letter gives her the closure she desperately needs. His journey, which began in grief and ended in acceptance, teaches her that love does not disappear when someone is gone. Instead, it becomes part of who we are and helps guide us forward. In the end, Teresa writes a letter of her own and casts it into the sea. It is a gesture of forgiveness, gratitude, and love. As the bottle drifts away, she finally understands that while loss can never be avoided, neither can the possibility of healing. Garrett's memory remains with her, not as a source of pain, but as proof that true love can change a life forever. Hope you had fun. There's more where that came from. Explore other books by Nicholas Sparks. Find them below or search Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Nicholas Sparks's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.